Okay, back at you with another video here for the NBA main slate here on Tuesday. We got 5 games, so a decent slate, but a lot of low over-unders. So it's kind of make this slate a little interesting. There's a lot of injury news waiting for you as well, so it's going to be a pretty interesting slate. I don't remember a slate like this in a while where all the over-unders are pretty low. So again, yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. First, real quick though, let's see how we did last night. So as you guys can see, it was a huge night for me. Almost took down the $200 tournament. Got second place, so I won $3,500. So it was a very, very good night. So let's go over my lineup. So I went with Reggie Jackson, Lou Williams, Jonas, Anthony Davis, Julius Randle, Jrue Holiday, Looney, John Collins. Okay, so the Reggie Jackson thing. So my original lineup. So first, let's start with the news of Mirotic getting ruled out as lineup locked. So that kind of, Reggie Jackson had already locked for me, so I couldn't switch him. I originally had Reggie and Moutier in my lineup, but then I had to switch things around to get Randall in. I kind of wanted to get Jrue in. And, yeah, so obviously I couldn't get rid of Reggie. But, if that news comes out 5 minutes before, I would have definitely got rid of Reggie for Moutier. So, yeah, Reggie, a little disappointing. I mean, it was a blowout. I did like the revenge narrative, but, again, the Pistons just got ran off the floor, so he didn't see his full allotment of minutes. For 5,200, it's not like the end of the world, but not exactly what I wanted. So Lou Williams, I forgot to mention him in my video. I put it in the description in my YouTube video. That Lou Williams is a great play at 4.9K. I just completely forgot to bring him up. But yeah, he was just way too cheap, especially in that I love that game, such a high over-under. I had to get Lou Williams in. Jonas Jerebko and Looney, I talked about both of them. I said, you could definitely play both. With Damian Jones out, there's a lot of minutes in that front court for Golden State. And yeah, I love targeting bigs against Atlanta, and both of them did very good. Both of them hit value. So Anthony Davis, that was a star I really wanted to pay up for. So I went with him. And then once the Mirotic news came out, I had to get Randall in. So I got rid of Tristan Thompson and put in Randall. And then, I kind of wanted Jrue too, because I just, it's more usage to go around. So Jrue had a huge night, 71 fantasy points. Really carried me almost to the top of this tournament. And then John Collins here as well. I talked about him in my video. He was just too cheap, especially against Golden State, 5,300, put up 43. So the 4 centers I talked about were Tristan Thompson, Nikola Jokic, Enes Kanter, and Collins. All of them did very, very well. Kanter got limited to 25 minutes. I mean, the Knicks it's just a mess there. He was on his way to a massive game, Kanter was, but then they just didn't bring him back in. Let's see, first place is 340 here. I was close. I had Anthony Davis. He did not have Anthony Davis. So if that game maybe goes to overtime, I definitely would have won. I'm happy with second place. I can't complain about $3,500. So again, huge night, and I'm ready to get into the slate for tonight. Okay. All right, so let's start at point guard today. And, there's a lot of injury news that we're waiting for. It seems like a lot of these guards are questionable. So let's start at the top at 9,800 is Dame Lillard. I love playing Damian Lillard, but, he's almost at 10K now. There isn't a whole lot of spend-ups, though, on the slate. So I do think Lillard will be somewhat popular. I'm a little undecided on whether or not I'm going to play him or not. Haven't really played around with roster construction too much. So I'm going to have to kind of play around with it. So a little undecided on Lillard. I mean, he's expensive, but again, there's not a whole lot to pay up for today. So I definitely got to consider Lillard today at 9,800. Levine at 8,400. I haven't really played him at all this season, but I'm definitely considering him today, especially with no Oladipo. He's one of the better defenders in the league. With him out of the lineup, Indiana's not the same defensively. They're still a good team, but Oladipo's like a lockdown defender. So I have Levine, 8,400. I think he's a little underpriced, so I'm definitely considering him. Let's see, De'Aaron Fox, a guy I love playing. Price is creeping up there now. 7,500 is a little expensive. I do like the matchup though against Phoenix. They don't play a whole lot of defense. This game should stay close. So Fox should see, he's going to see all the minutes he can handle if the game stays close and he stays out of foul trouble. He'll push for 35 to 40 minutes, which I really like. And he does have upside. He does have that 70-point upside like he put up, what was that, 3 or 4 weeks ago? So Fox, definitely considering him as well. So Collison, he got a price bump after that big game, against the Kings. He's up to 6,300 now. So he's not really the plug-and-play value play he has been the last couple of games. 6,300, I still think he can get you there for value. The matchup's pretty good here against Chicago. So Collison, again, I'm definitely considering him. I think he's priced about right. But I do think there's still a little upside. So the whole Dallas guard situation, you got Doncic is questionable. They said there's a good chance he's going to play, so I do expect him to play. I think he's priced about right. The issue with him is he hasn't really flashed like huge upside. He's kind of more just like a cash game play. He's not going to kill you, but he's not really going to win you a tournament. So Doncic I think is okay for cash games. So Dennis Smith Jr. and JJ Barea both questionable. DSJ just lost to 2, so I do expect him to play. And then JJ Barea, he's questionable for mouth laceration. So, I think all these guys will end up playing, but we're going to kind of have to wait and see. If a couple of them are out, obviously you would want to pivot to the one that's playing and go from there. Tyler Johnson says he's questionable. He's listed as probable, so I do expect him to play. He's been out here for a few games now. I would like it if he was cheaper, but, $5K, I think he's priced about right here. He's going to get a lot of minutes, but I think he's priced about right. I think he's okay. Just not the best play in the world. So Elliot Kobo at 4.4K. Definitely someone I'm considering today. With no Devin Booker and TJ Warren just got ruled out. So a lot of this Phoenix offense, is not going to be there, like their scores. So definitely a big boost to Kobo, a big boost to Josh Jackson, even Jamal Crawford. So I definitely think some Phoenix value guys, are good plays today, especially against the Kings. So Kobo, definitely considering him. And then same thing here with Jamal Crawford at 3.9. Again, his minutes have been up and down, but I think he's going to be forced to play some pretty big minutes here. I would guess, probably at least 25 minutes for Jamal Crawford. He's going to shoot the ball a ton. He's a little scoring dependent, but, 3.9K. I think he's solid value there. One last guy we're talking about is Arcidiacono. After those huge couple games, he's let everyone down. His minutes have been kind of limited as well. I think that was partly because of blowout, though. I don't think I can play him. He's just too up and down. If you want to take a shot at GPP, sure, but I think there's better plays out there. All right, let's move on to the shooting guard position. DeRozan, the San Antonio-Utah game is it's kind of ugly, and the Spurs they have not looked good recently. I do like the salary, 8.3. That's pretty low for DeRozan, but I don't know if I can do it. I think, I'd rather pay up for, a guy like Damian Lillard over DeRozan, or, I don't know. I think he's okay. Again, the salary makes him in play, but I think I'm going to be looking elsewhere. Same Donovan Mitchell. Again, this game just is not really appealing to me. Mitchell's kind of been up and down. Salary of just about 8K. Again, I think he's okay. I just think I can do better. McCollum at 7.1. I think I would just rather pay the extra, $2,500 or so for Lillard. McCollum at times just takes games off. He does have upside, though. He will, every once in a while, he will take over a game. But, I liked him when he's in the 6K range. Now he's up to 7,100. A little pricey there. Josh Richardson. He's going to play all the minutes he can handle. It's just, again, he's more of just like a cash game play. He's safe. He doesn't really have 50-point upside. But I think he's, like I said, a good cash game play at 7K. Then the Sacramento guards I do really like with Buddy Hield and Bogdanovich. So Hield, he's basically locked into 30 to 35 minutes. He's going to shoot the ball a ton. he has shown a kind of low floor here. If his shot's not falling, you know, he can lay an egg here, but Buddy, he has huge upside. So 6K, definitely like him. And Bogdanovich off the bench here. Again, he's playing basically the same amount of minutes as Heald. He's going to play 30 to 35 minutes. He's going to shoot the ball a ton when he's out there. He's been shooting the ball very, very well. So Bogdanovich and Heald, I do like them a lot here at shooting guard. See, D Wade. I mean, this guy's kind of turned back the clock. I talked about him early on, and he wasn't really producing. But now, again, this guy's just turning back the clock. But 5,500, that's a lot to pay for Dwayne Wade. I mean, I know he's going to play 25 to 30 minutes or so, but I don't know. It just feels a lot to pay for D Wade, so I don't know if I can do it. Justin Holiday. After this stretch of just crazy fantasy production, 56, 45, 36, he's kind of fallen back to earth a little bit, 25, 32, 24. Again, he's going to play all the minutes he can handle, which I do like, but, he's kind of priced up where, I think I'll look elsewhere. Tyreek just continues to let me down. I continue to play him, and I continue to fall into the trap. Again, this is a good matchup against Chicago. And he's probably going to get me, 20 to 25 fantasy points, which is okay for 5,200. I still think he has that upside in him, but it's tough. He's been letting me down a lot recently. Let's see. So Magruder is questionable today, as well as James Johnson. So, that could open up some things here. Let me go to Miami real quick. Let's go over to the forward position. So, again, Magruder and James Johnson are questionable. So, that can open up more minutes for a guy like Justice Winslow, as well as Kelly Olynyk. Winslow at 4,100, I think would be, fine value. Again, if both these guys are out. And then Kelly O is surprisingly, last couple games here, his minutes are creeping up there, 21, 25, and 29. And when this guy gets minutes, he can produce. If he gets hot especially, he has immense upside at 3,900. So I really do like those guys if Magruder and James Johnson are out. Okay, so let's go back to the shooting guard. Is there anything else really interesting? Not really. Okay, let's move on to small forward. And, Aaron Gordon, 6,900. Never a guy I really get excited about playing. He's kind of boom or bust as well. But if James Johnson's out of there, James Johnson's a pretty good defender. So if James Johnson's out, Aaron Gordon could have a pretty good game here. And again, the salary is pretty enticing here at 6,900. He's going to get 30 to 35 minutes. So Aaron Gordon, definitely considering today. He gets a boost if James Johnson's out. Jabari, he's going to come off the bench. I don't think the minutes are going to take too much of a hit. I still think he'll play 25 to 30 minutes. And, we've seen him when he came off the bench early in the season. He was pretty productive. So, I definitely think he's still in play. He'll be very low owned. I don't think I can do it today, but, I think he'll still be okay. Harrison Barnes, he's been pretty good here over the last 3 games, but it's priced up all the way to 6,600 now, where I think he's okay. He does have pretty good upside here, but he does have a low floor as well. So a little undecided on what I want to do with Harrison Barnes. TJ Warren is questionable, but they actually just came out that he's not going to play. So that's going to open up, again, a lot for Phoenix, him and Devin Booker being out. So, I think some people might go to Trevor Ariza here. I just don't think his role is going to change. This guy's, a stand in the corner. He's going to shoot threes. He's going to get you some steals. He's going to get you some rebounds, and that's about it. He's not going to really create for others. So Ariza, 5,700. I'll let others chase that. I would much rather play a guy like Josh Jackson here at 5,300 who, he's just going to shoot the ball a ton. He's going to have the ball in his hands a lot more, especially with Devin Booker out now. He's going to be asked to do a lot in this offense. So I really like this play at 5,300 for Josh Jackson. Early in the season he was terrible, absolutely terrible. But he's starting to pick it up. He does have a low floor. We've seen this guy. He can get multiple turnovers and just shoot ice cold. But with all those guys out of the offense, Again, I think I'd rather play Josh Jackson than Trevor Ariza. Let's see, Rudy Gay again. This game is just San Antonio Utah game is not really appealing to me. I think Gay's okay, but I'd rather look elsewhere. Let's see, Thad Young again. Just maybe more of a cash game play. Doesn't really have huge upside, but the matchup against Chicago is pretty good. I think he's okay, but again, doesn't have a whole lot of upside. So Bielitsa here at 3.9. I thought he would get more minutes with Marvin Bagley out of the lineup, but again, they're not giving this guy minutes. He still is producing in the limited minutes he gets. But it's just tough to play a guy that's going to be capped like 20 minutes. So, again, I think he's good for 3.9K, but it's just the minutes are just not there for him. So Mikal Bridges at 3.8. I don't. I'm definitely going to play a few Suns, but Bridges, he's okay, but again, he's just a very low usage guy in this offense. So, I think I'd rather play a guy like Josh Jackson and either a Kobo or Jamal Crawford. And then, you got Ayton and Rashawn Holmes. Bridges, okay, but I think we can do better. Okay, let's see. All right, let's move on to power forward. And Aldridge, 7.6. Biggs have been doing pretty good here against Utah. So I think he's okay, but just too inconsistent. These Spurs just been up and down. So I don't think I can go there. So 7.2, my boy Domantas Sabonis. He kind of let me down against the Kings. His first real letdown game in a long time. Again, his usage with Oladipo out of the offense is just insane. And I love targeting bigs against Chicago. That is just a recipe for success in DFS. So Domantas Sabonis, 7.2K. I'm all over him again. I love this play. Him and Miles Turner even. A recipe to success for DFS is target bigs against Chicago. You're going to win some money. So Sabonis, I like his price dropped a little bit here. Issue with him is it's just the minutes. He's not sometimes he's not going to see more than 25 minutes. Those other times he does push for 30, but 7.2K. I still think he has upside at this price. I love targeting bigs against Chicago. So Sabonis, I do really like that play today. Let's see, Bagley, he's listed as questionable. He's going to be a game time decision. If he ends up playing, I'm going to play Marvin Bagley. It's just too cheap here at 5.6K. This guy, he's just been producing, at a very high level here. So if Bagley ends up playing, I will play him at 5.6K. That's just too cheap. Markkanen, they're going to insert him in the starting lineup. 5.4K. I don't know how many minutes he's going to get. I would guess maybe 30 minutes. So I think he's okay. I think he's a good cash game play, but I don't know. There's a lot of other forwards that I like playing. So Markkanen, I think I'll look elsewhere. So these cheap forwards, again, Kelly O, if Magruder's out, if James Johnson's out, that's just going to secure some minutes here for the front court. So Kelly O's been playing pretty good. So I definitely got to consider him. And then, again, my boy Rashawn Holmes, I've been playing him all the time here. Again, he's only going to play strictly backup 5 to Ayton. So, 15 to 18 minutes usually. If Ayton gets in foul trouble or it's a blowout, he'll see some more minutes. But he's just so productive when he's out there. He's going to get a lot of blocks. He's going to get some steals, putbacks. So 3.8K, I think Holmes definitely in play for value today. All right, so let's move on to the center position. And again, it's definitely a two-center lineup for me. It's going to be a two-center lineup for me again, guys. It's just the centers seem to be the best plays almost every night. So we got Vucevic at 9K. This guy's he's just been insane. I still think he's a little underpriced here. Matchup against Whiteside, where historically, the Vucevic-Whiteside matchup has, both of them do very well against each other. So I think in tournaments, I don't mind stacking Vucevic and Whiteside together. I think that's a good GPP option. Gobert is just he's too expensive for me now at 8.6. I know he has flashed some pretty good upside here, but I'm going to be looking elsewhere. Whiteside, again, if you want to do that tournament stack with Vucevic and Whiteside, they do produce. They play very well against each other. My issue with Whiteside is just this guy just takes games off, and his minutes are never secure. I thought they were earlier in the season, but he's been limited 25-20, 20-12, 25-20. But then he's playing good. They got 34 minutes. So if he's playing pretty good, he's going to get the minutes. But if he's having an off game, taking a night off, they're going to limit him a lot. So I just don't think I can go there today with Whiteside. Again, only if I'm doing the GPP stack with him and Vucevic for Whiteside. Nurkic at 7.4. A guy, I've been playing a lot recently, and I still think he's a little underpriced here. The matchup against DeAndre Jordan is not the best, but this game should stay close, so Nurkic should push for 30-plus minutes. So I think he's a pretty good play here at 7.4K. And then let's get to the mid-range tier of centers, which I really like. We got DeAndre Ayton at 6.5 with Devin Booker out of the lineup, with TJ Warren out of the lineup. There's just a whole lot of usage to go around here. And, I definitely think the main targets I really want to target for Phoenix are DeAndre Ayton and Josh Jackson. I think those two are going to be producing the most in this game. And again, targeting players against the Kings is a strategy that has been very successful for me for DFS. So I love a lot of these Phoenix guys. So Ayton and Josh Jackson, probably the top two options for me for Phoenix. Ayton just too cheap here at 6,500. The game stays close. He's going to play 32 minutes or so. So I really like Ayton. And same thing here with Miles Turner. Again, targeting bigs against Chicago is just a recipe for success. And with no Oladipo out of the lineup, this guy he's flashing pretty good upside. He's got that block upside as well. He's going to get you a couple blocks most of the time. And, I think he's definitely going to get you a double-double here against Chicago. So Miles Turner, Domantas Sabonis stack, I'm all over that today. So, yeah, it's really the mid-tier for centers for me. It's Miles Turner, it's Ayton. And if you want to spend up a little bit, I think Vucevic and Nurkic definitely in play for me as well. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys my core for today. I know it's only 5 games, but I'm definitely liking the slate here. Again, it's an interesting slate. The over-unders are, here I can show you them. So 208, 208, 219, 223, and 215. So all of them are pretty low over-unders. But yeah, okay, so I'm going to give you guys my core today. So let's start with the 2 centers that I think I'm going to lock in. Miles Turner and DeAndre Ayton. I think both of them are just a little too underpriced for their roles in this offense. But again, the other 2 centers I really like too are Vucevic and Nurkic. So you want to spend up on one of those 2 guys, I don't mind it. I just think the mid-tier again for centers is pretty juicy. So I really like Miles Turner, I really like Ayton. And then again, power forward, I'm going to continue to target bigs against Chicago. So I think Sabonis and Miles Turner, there's a little negative correlation playing them both, but I think both of them still have upside today, especially in this matchup against Chicago. And then as far as a cheap big, I do really like Olynyk if those guys are out, and I also really like Holmes. I think both of them have some pretty good upside here. So right now I'm going to go Holmes, but if James Johnson and if Magruder's out, then maybe I'll pivot to Olynyk. But as of right now, I think Rashawn Holmes, again, there's still some negative correlation with him and Ayton since he's strictly going to play backup 5, but he's just so productive when he's out there. So I think he's going to get me, a floor of 15 fantasy points with upside of 25 for 3.8K. I'll take that all day. And lastly, small forward position. Some people, again, I think we'll go to Ariza, but I really think Josh Jackson is the better play today. Sure, he has a lower floor, definitely, but he's going to have the ball in his hands a whole lot. So Josh Jackson, the last piece I'm going to throw in there for my core today. I think he's just too underpriced for his role in this offense with no Devin Booker and with no TJ Warren. So I think that's going to do it for the core. So you got 7K remaining. So again, you guys can spend up and get your guards that you want in your lineup. I think this is a pretty solid core. And yeah, I think that's going to do it for today's video, guys. If you haven't enjoyed the content, please like this video, subscribe. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section down below. It's also important to follow me on Twitter. That will be in the description below. I give my thoughts as more news comes out. And yeah, let's hope for another huge night tonight. And I will be back Wednesday for a nice slate then. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.